Hi Gemini, welcome to your August energy reading. My name is Kimberly from the Path Illuminated. If you are returning, thank you so much for your support. If you are new here, welcome. This is still a relatively new channel. I will be doing minimally monthly energy readings. Depends just on my time constraints if I do additional ones. It's been pretty chaotic this month, and it's July 19th. And we are quickly approaching the end of Cancer season and the end of July. I don't know how that happened. We had the Cancer new moon this past Monday. Yes. Like, what day is it? It's Wednesday. On Monday. And we also had the lunar node shifting to the Aries Libra axis. I am not an astrologer, but I do follow astrology. So we're all collectively working through stepping into our own authority and power and letting go of people-pleasing, codependency, all that kind of stuff. And then on July 22nd, when we move into Leo season, we will also have Venus going retrograde into Leo. So I think at that point, we'll have 7 planets in retrograde. So the energies have been intense and are going to continue to be intense. So Gemini, I hope you're taking care of yourself. As I mentioned, this is a general collective reading for the sign of Gemini. The messages may resonate, they may not. So take what resonates, leave the rest. I did launch my website at the end of June. Whoop, whoop. So if you're interested in a personal reading, I am open to that. I will link my website below if you would like more information or if you're interested in a personal reading. Something I always like to make sure to remind everybody of is that you, Gemini, know what's going on in your life better than anybody else, and you have to trust yourself above everyone else, right? These energy readings are to provide you with guidance, perspective, feedback, advice, support, but understand that you have free will. So if something comes out in the reading that you don't like, understand you have free will. Energy is fluid. You can change your perspective. You can change how you deal with the situation. You can change how you deal with the person. You can change how you deal with yourself, Gemini. None of this is set in stone, but hopefully these messages will provide you with some insight, guidance that will help you in making those next steps. So let's get going. I'm going to start with 5 cards for the initial energy. Then I'll pull some clarifiers, and then we will pull a card from the animal spirit deck to close this out. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. Please help me in providing a clear and accurate message for the Gemini collective for the month of August. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. What messages do you have for Geminis? Lots of fire energy. Oh, I had like 7 cards come out. Okay. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. What messages do you have for my Geminis? That's too many cards. I was like, if it's 3, I'll take it, but it's like 5. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. What messages do you have for Gemini? These are some good cards, Gemini. These are some good cards. I am liking what I'm seeing. Just bear with me. I always want to make sure that you guys can, you folks can see the cards. Kind of important. I mean, maybe that's just me. Every reader is different. And, you know, I really do love the readers that show their face on camera. And it's not so much that I'm opposed to doing that. It's just, it can be a little bit distracting, I think, for me. Not necessarily for you. But also, like, I'm a little bit selfish. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, what I'm wearing or what makeup. And, like, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I say all of that to say I appreciate readers who do show up on camera because that's a whole other level of work. I've started doing shorter energy readings for the elements on my Instagram, which I will also link below if you're interested. And I've been on camera for those, but those are like a lot shorter because Reels on Instagram is limited to 90 seconds. Although I've seen people post longer. Anyways, I don't need to go down that road. I like the cards, Gemini. I like the cards. Okay, let's pull some clarifiers here. Sorry. You know, I live alone. I work from home. I talk to myself a lot. Anyways, all right. Why is the Queen of Wands here, Spirit? Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. Oh, that's too many. I thought it was 2. I'm always like, I'll take 1 or 2. Any more than that, and like, you know, like, I'm not trying to make these readings exponentially long. I want them to be long enough to get the message through without, you know, taking up your time. For me, longer readings should be personal readings. That's just me, right? Like, if the messages resonate and I'm picking up on your energy and you feel, you know, some type of connection to my energy with regard to reading, I'd rather spend that time connecting with you one-on-one and going into a longer reading than on YouTube, but that's just me. Okay, I got 3 cards. It's 1 too many. Why is the 9 of Cups here, Spirit? Okay, I don't need 10 cards. This clarifying deck, I have to say that today it's been so talkative. It's just been like 5 cards here, 10 cards there, 7 cards here, 3. I'm just like, oh, okay. All right, chatty Kathy. I mean, I appreciate it, but Jesus, what did I say? It's like, oh, you want to talk some BS about? No, I don't. I love you. I love you, deck. Okay. And why is the Knight of Swords here, Spirit? I get 1 card. 3. 1 or 2, Spirit, please. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right. I may pull some additional cards, but let's just get into the cards here. All right, so August. Gemini, you are feeling yourself. And just something I always want to say. I'm reading the cards. I'm reading the energy. There is no gender in tarot. It's just an energy, right? So Queen of Wands, this is energy that you are embodying in the month of August. That has nothing to do with gender, all right? This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, clarified by the Leo card. So it seems to me like during the month of August and moving into Leo season, Gemini, you are really starting to feel yourself. You are starting to understand your power and your authority and your abundance and your attractiveness. And you are really owning it. And you are allowing the universe to remind you of how truly abundant and beautiful you are, and people are going to take notice during the month of August. Gemini, the sun is going to be shining. You are going to be feeling full of joy. For me, like I always, in this particular deck, this is the Modern Witch Tarot, you know, like your inner child is really digging your vibes. So I think you're getting out there into the sunshine, going to the park, going to the beach, doing the things that really make you feel like beautiful, abundant, vivacious, attractive, right? Like get out there during the month of August. There's a lot of momentum. 8 of Wands. Again, this is fire energy, right? This is movement forward. This is momentum forward. Now, it's clarified by the 6 of Wands, but the 6 of Wands is in reverse. When it's upright, this is a card of victory. Now, I don't necessarily see this as you're not going to be victorious. What I see this as is that you may not fully realize your victory in the month of August. Does that make sense, Gemini? You're feeling yourself. You are being activated by this Leo energy, by the sun, by nature, by your inner child, and you're really, really feeling like this is the time to move forward. Just understand, right, that energy is fluid and timing is fluid, and, you know, divine timing is not human timing, right? So Go with where the energy is taking you, Gemini. But just because you aren't necessarily right away seeing that your actions are leading to some external victory doesn't mean it's not happening. Does that make sense, Gemini? So I'll use myself as an example. I made a decision to cut some people off in January, to block them because they weren't aligned with me. It wasn't easy, and I questioned myself. But as the months have progressed, I started creating content again on my Instagram. I launched my YouTube page in April. I launched my website at the end of June, right? And I'm building momentum and I'm following the energy. Now, am I reading tarot and do life coaching full time yet? No, but it's still been a victory. Now, externally to other people, they might be like, well, are you getting lots of clients? Are you making lots of money? Are you able to quit your job yet? Like the typical like markers of success. I no longer adhere to them. I am trusting myself. I'm trusting the universe. I'm trusting the energy and the momentum forward, regardless of how it looks on the outside, because I trust where the energy is taking me. You're going to be working really hard. And for me, right, like there's a lot of wand energy. So this very well could have a lot to do with your finances. It could also be love, right? It could just be you finally getting to a place of working on yourself, working on your abundance, working on all of the things that you know are going to eventually create a return on your investment. You are feeling the momentum to invest and to work hard on something that in the long run is truly going to, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess manifest, right? Like, and that's something, again, as part of manifestation, that we have to be in the energy that we want first before we see it manifest in the 3D. We have to do the hard work of letting go of people, places, ways of being, ways of thinking, ways of engaging with the world that hold us back, right? And that's a lot of hard work. The Eight of Pentacles is clarified by this Page of Wands as a passionate new beginning. Now, there is also King of Swords in reverse, and this is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So, you know, you might be having to work through some mental blockages, right? You might have to work through, how do I accept that this is a new path for me and that I'm starting fresh, right? Like, for me, the King of Swords in reverse is like overthinking, ruminating, questioning yourself, not trusting your, right? Because, well, obviously Cups energy, which Nine of Cups, love to see it, wish fulfillment, but we'll get to that. Cups energy is water energy. It's intuitive, it's emotional, but and Page of Wands, like all wands, this is fire energy. People will often say that water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, are the most emotional. Sure. Sure. Okay. We're emotional. We're moody. Fire signs are actually the most emotionally triggered. Anger is an emotion. Aggression is an emotion. Passion is an emotion. Right? And so the beautiful thing about fire energy is it's very intuitive, even if it doesn't get that credit. It's a like, I feel this and I'm going to go with the energy. Even if my logical mind is like, but we're so used to being the king of our domain. but you clearly are wanting to move into a different energy, right? Like you're wanting, Gemini, I think during the month of August, you're really craving that emotional intensity, that passion. And logic is great, but oftentimes we can talk ourselves out of certain opportunities because our logical mind is looking for the gaps, the holes, the pitfalls, right? And whereas this Page of Wands energy is like very spontaneous, very passionate, like some could say naive because it is a page, right? This is a new beginning. This is like beginning at the beginning. And that can be very intimidating for our ego that wants to keep us protected and wants to keep us safe. But I think you're really going to start working towards like, how do I stop my own intellect from blocking my blessings? And I think that that's a good thing because obviously like I was mentioned before, we have this Nine of Cups. This is the wish fulfillment card. This is like, right before the 10 of Cups, it's you're filling your own cup, you're engaging with the people, the places, the ideas, the activities, the projects that really fill your cup, that make you feel happy and loved and abundant and provided for. And I do believe that it is because you are shifting your own perspective of what success means, Gemini. Right? So like the Emperor in reverse can be like, it depends, right? Like I'm an intuitive reader, so like I'm picking up on the energy, but I think that this is really about you letting go of this old school perspective of like, I need to be like the master of my domain and like very logical and like the king and very stoic, and like you're starting to understand that you want to feel something. You want to feel something, Gemini. You want to feel the passion. You want to feel the fire. You want to like actually like allow yourself to, marinate in those beautiful, deep, passionate emotions. And by letting down your guard and being like, yeah, I'm a smart, intelligent, logical person, but I really am feeling this energy to move into this new path and to invest in this new way of being, even if logically it doesn't always make sense. And that's how intuition works. It doesn't always logically line up with what, the muggle world, the 3D reality would tell us. But like, you are going to harness, your air energy to take this action forward. Knights are, action oriented, and you can see, this knight is forging forward and leaning into being more connected to your intuition and your emotions, which I know for air signs and for you, Gemini in particular, you have a tendency to process your emotions through your mind, which takes away from feeling that passion within you. It stops you from connecting to your heart. So you are like learning to take the good parts of that air energy of the being logical and, having mental fortitude and, being able to see all perspectives and like potential pitfalls, right? You're starting to realize that the missing piece is connecting to your heart. The Sun, Leo. Leo is ruled by the heart, just FYI. You are learning that your heart and your intuition are actually what has been the missing piece in what you've been working on over the last few months. I think this is an overall energy. It definitely could be work because there's a lot of wands energy and there's pentacles and there's the Emperor, right? So let's pull some additional cards just to go a little bit deeper. Something I'll just mention with regard to Venus retrograde, and Venus in particular, I don't know if you've delved deeply into astrology or your birth chart, but our Venus placement, mine's in Capricorn, it has to do with our values. It has a lot to do with relationships, whether they're family, friendship, romance, but also money. right? So I think the month of August is you starting to really reevaluate what's been the missing piece in your life in general. And I really do think that that has been your heart and your emotions, you know, Gemini. You really have you're coming to this place of realizing that while you appreciate your ego for protecting you, you appreciate your intellect for being logical and helping you navigate your reality, you want to feel something. You want to feel something deep. You want to feel something real. And that requires oftentimes letting go of the logic, letting go of the overthinking, letting go of the like, let me determine all of the ways in which this can go the wrong way. The Sun again. Connect with your heart, connect with your inner child, connect with the things that light you on fire, that make you feel alive and passionate and grateful for this world. It's time to move out of a traditional way of being, right? Where, you know, constant, like I've been saying, you know, being overly focused on this external perception of what people think success is. Once you let go of this traditional muggle matrix idea of like, oh, well, you need to be making, you know, 300K with stock options and bonus and the mortgage and the like cars and the da-da-da-da-da, and that's, you know, and like the trophy wife or the trophy husband and like all of the material things, you're starting to realize that that's actually not what success is. Perhaps you've had some of that, and like many of us, myself included, have come to the conclusion that what you were told was success actually is emotionally unfulfilling. And once you actually embrace this non-traditional idea of what success is, you will start to be confronted with some of your demons. And, you know, the devil doesn't necessarily have to be a negative card. This is all about addictions, obsessions, toxic behaviors, patterns, relationships, right? Like, and the Magician in reverse. If you continue to cling to these old ways of being, whether it's like overthinking, being overly negative, being overly logical, being a workaholic, engaging in relationship dynamics that are highly toxic, that's what's actually going to block you from manifesting your abundance in this reality, Gemini. You have to let go of those old ways of being, the old ideas of what it means to be successful, because even if you have all of the money, even if you have the cars, even if you have whatever it is that society, you know, tells you you should be wanting, if you're not emotionally fulfilled, it doesn't matter. And that's what you want. You want something emotionally fulfilling. You want to be reconnected to your heart. You want to be happy. And you're starting to realize that the things that you've been focusing on are actually not satisfying you. So it's time for a shift. It is time to realize that you, Gemini, you are the only one that can determine what success truly means. And if you are willing to go with where the energy is taking you and reconnect to your heart, your intuition and your emotions are actually going to guide you forward into a place where you are able to balance your emotional and mental self. And that's exactly where you want to be. That's called balance. That's having a proper perspective of the path forward, where you can come to this place of understanding that your heart and your mind are friends. They're not enemies, but so many of us have been conditioned to believe that we have to choose one over the other, and it's a lie. And you're going to be working through those blockages during the month of August. But this is like such a fabulous reading. Yeah, reconnect with your heart, reconnect with your passion. Don't let your logical mind, you know, talk you out of this new way of being. It's time. You deserve this. You deserve this, Gemini. All right, the vulture. Going to read from the book. 1 second. And it's air energy. How appropriate. I love when that happens. Okay. Vulture. Guardian and purifier. Essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic and aggressive. To bring into balance, clean your space and sage. Yeah, it's time to realize that you can have a balance between your heart and your mind, Gemini. You do not need to choose one over the other. And any sort of imbalances that you have within yourself, whether it has to do with, you know, friends, family, loved ones, that make you question yourself. Again, you get to decide what success truly means. And during the month of August, Gemini, understand that reconnecting with your heart and your soul, you can do that while still maintaining your mental capacity and your logic. All of this can work together. I hope these messages resonate, and I will see you next time. Bye.